One of the greatest pitchers you've likely never heard of hails from Cuba. His nickname, El Diamante Negro, the Black Diamond. This is the great Jose Mendez, possessing a dynamic fastball, a great hard-breaking curveball, and pinpoint control to go along with it. He dazzled not only in Cuba, but also in the Negro Leagues here in the United States with the great Kansas City Monarchs. And how did the great Major League manager John McGraw describe Jose Mendez? Only as a combination of Walter Johnson and Grover Alexander. That's pretty good.
All right, ready to get underway. And now, Sellers. The pitch. That one finds the zone. And we're underway here this afternoon. Strike two. Swings and misses. Struck him out. Now the number 2 hitter, Sanders. And fires in a fastball at 95.
You know, Jose Mendez wasn't just a terrific force on the mound. He was a really great manager, too. He was the player manager for the Monarchs for 3 straight years as Negro National League champs, as well as the 1924 Negro Leagues World Series.
2 outs, base is empty. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Martin Digo. Sinker catches the zone at the knees. Something I found out, Mendez was actually a shortstop when he was growing up, but he did some relief pitching as well. When Jose signed to Almendares, they made him a starter.
The relationship between the Negro Leagues and Cuba and Spanish-speaking countries in general was a bond created by baseball. Negro League players would venture down to Cuba well before major leaguers would go there, and of course, they were welcomed with open arms. And as I reflect on my friend Buck O'Neill, who recalled going to Havana, as he would say, when Havana was Havana. Oh, it was absolutely beautiful, as Buck would recall, how much they enjoyed the scenery and the treatment that they were welcomed to when they came to Cuba. And then when the Cuban athletes would venture away from home to come play in the Negro Leagues, they got the exact acceptance here in the Negro Leagues. You see, the Negro Leagues just simply did not care what color you were. All they cared was, can you play?
Back here at Southside Park. Now it's the right fielder, Sellers. That's a strike.
Such a long history of great players from Cuba, Boog, and not just in the Negro Leagues. Long before Jackie Robinson broke the Major League color line in 1947, Dolph Luke was an ace for Cincinnati and Brooklyn. He was able to play because of his lighter skin.
Swing and a miss. Got him to go up the ladder for the K. Digging in, Sanders. Swing and a miss. 0-1. You mentioned those pre-integration Cuban players, Chris. After the color line was broken, of course, that opened the door for more great Cuban-born players like Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Louis Tion Jr., and Tony Perez. That's back there. Makes the catch up against the wall. 2 outs, base is empty. Ford getting ready to hit. In there at the knees, and that's strike 1.
Boog, you brought up those old Cuban players like Minoso and Oliva, but there are plenty of Cuban-born stars in the majors these days, too. Guys like Yordan Alvarez, Raisel Iglesias, Randy Arozarena, and Luis Robert Jr. are lighting things up in the show these days.
We head to the bottom of the second. Now here is West. And that's in for a strike. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now. Mendez keeps mowing down Chicago with his third K. Perry now at the plate. That one finds the zone. It's 0-1. And he's down 0-2 as he swings through it. Hit in the air, right field. Settles underneath it. And there are 2 down. So digging in, Little. And a good eye there. Big swing and a miss.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Next offering is in for a strike. Just misses. Now 2-2. Hacks it.
Physically, Jose Mendez reminds me of the great Major League pitcher, Pedro Martinez. Built almost identical. He was a small man, wiry, long arms, long fingers, an arm much bigger than his stature. Blazing fastball, high-rising fastball with a sharp breaking curveball, and then you add the dimension of pinpoint control, he was virtually unhittable.
With the tying run in scoring position in the bottom of the 9th, Perry digs in now. 1-run game, bottom 9. Flips the corner, and that is strike 2. And a swing and a miss. Huge strikeout there. Little in the box now, takes strike 1. That clips the corner. Crowd locked in right now. 1-run game here in the 9th. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Mendez 1 out away from slamming the door for the Monarchs. Newman in the box now, takes strike 1. Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. Mendez is just 1 strike away. Ball game.
Jose Mendez's breakout season in 1908 as a youngster is one for the record books. The Cincinnati Reds had ventured down to Cuba as Cuba was open now for goodwill tours of baseball. Jose Mendez welcomed the Cincinnati Reds to his native Cuba by pitching 25 consecutive shutout innings. Oh, it gets even better. He would go on to add to that number, compiling 45 consecutive shutout innings against both minor and major league teams during that particular jaunt there in Cuba. I'm not sure you'll see that feat duplicated again.
And we're back, ready to go for the last half of the inning. Now the third baseman, Sawyer. And they're at the knees. And it's 0-1. Jose Mendez's whole run against the Reds is incredible. But I want to focus on the first game they saw him. Mendez went out there and threw a one-hitter, and he was just 21 years old at the time. Walker will hit next. There's a swing and a miss. It's crazy what Mendez was able to do in 1908, and not just against the Reds. He led the Cuban League with 157 strikeouts. That was almost twice as many as the next best pitcher in the league. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 2 gone as Mendez continues to cook. Tom stands in now and watches strike 1. That one fouled off.
Back on that series against the Reds, Jose had such dark skin that the Reds wouldn't sign him, even after he dominated their hitters. They did sign his lighter-skinned teammate Armando Marsans 3 years later. Marsans was good, but Mendez was the real star on that squad.
Rose in the box now. No balls and a strike. Just missed.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And now 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
2-1 pitch is in there, and the count is even. And down on strikes. 1 away. Here's Turner now. Swing and a miss. That's strike 1.
0-1.
Next offering is in for a strike.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Got him. Now only 1 out remaining. So they're down to their final out. Now it's the second baseman, Saunders. Foul ball there. They're down to their final strike. Mendez is just 1 strike away. Swing and a miss, and he got him. That's the ball.
Jose Mendez had the stuff. He had all the stuff. So much so that the great James Leslie Wilkinson, the owner of the Kansas City Monarchs, would bring the Black Diamond over to Kansas City. Mendez responded as the Monarchs would become a juggernaut there in the Negro National League. Jose Mendez was a tremendous pitcher because not only did he start, he also closed games, many games as a member of the Kansas City Monarchs. In 7 amazing seasons in the Negro Leagues, Jose Mendez posted a 30-9 one-loss record with a dazzling 3.46 ERA.
Drew Foster digging in now. Mendez back to work.
When Jose Mendez joined the Monarchs in 1920, he became the final piece of one of the greatest rotations in baseball history. They had Mendez, John Donaldson, and Bullet Joe Rogan, all future MLB Hall of Famers.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. 2 on, 1 out, and the batter will be the shortstop, Perry. There's a strike at the knees. 0-1. Going back to that incredible Monarchs rotation, Chris, it makes me think of the Braves stats in the 1990s. Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, or even 2019, the Astros with Cole, Verlander, and Greinke. Strike on the inside corner.
2 more great historic rotations, Boo. The 1966 Dodgers with Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale, and Don Sutton, and the 1931 Homestead.
Jose Mendez's dazzling pitching career was somewhat shortened by the fact that he had some arm trouble about 6 years into his career. And he moved to shortstop, and he played a great shortstop. But when he needed to toe the rubber, Mendez summoned up the strength to get out on the mound, and he dazzled once again, helping the Monarchs capture the inaugural Negro Leagues World Series, an exciting 10-game series against the Hilldale Daisies out of Darby, Pennsylvania. And Jose Mendez was one of the stars of that series, winning the deciding game number 10 to bring the title home to the Heartland.
So first and second with 2 outs. Jose Mendez stepping in now. That one is absolutely belted. That's back. And an automatic double as it hops the fence. A run comes in the play. And a base hit up the middle. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single. And next will be the cleanup hitter, West. Mendez back to work. Fastball in for a strike. 0-1.
It's not just that Jose Mendez won Game 10 of that 1924 Negro Leagues World Series. He won Game 6 in relief, too. But what he did in Game 10 really was sensational. A 3-hit shutout to close out the series. Tough situation right here. So important as a pitcher to get ahead in the count as he did right there.
And a pitch. Now that's a little bit high. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. On that incredible Mendez performance in the 24 World Series, don't forget that he was in his late 30s, and Game 10 was played in Chicago in 30-degree weather. Jose Mendez was absolutely built different. That's foul off to the right side, keeps the AB going. Mendez is just one strike away.
Jose Mendez was one of the most dominant pitchers this game has ever seen. The Black Diamond. Oh, and he was a great one. He is rightfully enshrined in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. It's almost shameful that it took until 2006 for his induction, but he's finally where he absolutely belongs in the National Baseball Hall of Fame as one of those stellar arms from both Cuba and the Negro Leagues.